I'm Subu, bringing crafting to you, and today we are going to make a simple card with Forever and Always, and I have used a stamp and die also from the Positive Thoughts, and I'll show you. Right, just in case you like the products that I'm using today, you can shop with me from the 28th of March, which has already gone now, until the 25th of April. If you use this hostess code, you can share in the free products that I'll get from Stampin' Up. So this is the code to use. You can either go directly to the Stampin' Up website, or you can click on my shop link on my business page. If you're watching on YouTube, you will be able to look in the description box, and you'll be able to click on the link to take you back to my Facebook business page if you want to go that way. However, as long as you put the hostess code in, which is unique to me, it will come on my workshop, and then I will be able to share the goodies with you. So thank you very much. And if you are on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell. Thank you very much. Right, so today we're going to start with a piece of card that measures, just check the measurements for you. This piece of card measures 3 3/4 by 5.5. So we're going to start with this, and I'm just going to get out, which I've got out already, is I think I will do the large flower. So I'm just going to use the large flower, and just gonna pop the stamps up. I've got to one side a moment, so bring those for later. So I'm just mounting up. It's a photopolymer stamp. These are photopolymer stamps from there. I'm just going to do this quite faint. So I'm using Seaside Spray. Unfortunately, this is retiring. I love this and will probably be using it well after it's retiring. So if you really like the colour, you need to stock up on it. So I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on. So I'm just wanting a very light background colour. So let's do a bit off there. So you stamp off and then stamp on to stamp off, and we can stamp in. So I'm just randomly, but make sure you stamp off so that that will give it a light background. So that's very easy to do that. Just make sure to stamp off before you do it. So we'll just pop that to one side. You will also need to stamp the largest flower and the smallest flower, which I have done already, and I've die cut these out. So you could either die cut them or fussy cut them out. So we need both those two sides. Now, I don't know whether you can see the shimmer on these two flowers that I've previously done. What I've used is our shimmer paint, and again, this unfortunately is retiring. So, but it's a great tool to have in your stash, because all I've done is used our rollers. So where's my, so I only had the rollers that come on the stick. I've washed mine, so it's busy drying at the moment. But you just put a little bit on a stamping block and roll over and pick it up, and then just roll over your cardstock, and it gives you this shimmer. Now I am getting the stamp set that that is Friends Are Like Seashells, and this will be absolutely great for putting that pearlized on the seashells. So you can do them any colour you like and put this on top. So as I say, I will be using this into the future. So if you want to stock up on that, you only need one bottle. I've had this a couple of years now. It lasts and is just so easy. I've got plenty of it left still, and I've also got one that came with the that's the rose gold that came with the Everything is Rosy, it was called. So I haven't used that much either. So we need two of those. I have also ahead of time stamped, oh, one thing I did with this, one side cut out the die shapes. I have just gone over with my sponge dauber on the edge of all my flowers to take away that white border. Okay, so it gives it an effect to your flower as well, and I've done that on both these. Also, I have I have stamped 5 of the feathers from, and this is in mint macaron. Oh, let me just put the lid on my stamp because our stamps dry quite quickly. I don't want to dry up my ink pad. Right. So I've also, as I say, stamped 5 of my feathers from the Positive Thoughts. This is going through to the new catalogue plus the dies, so that's great. I'm going to use these as leaves. So I've stamped 5 and I've just done exactly the same. I've just got my sponge dauber and gone round the edges to take off any white there. So we've got those. Also, I have used the oval punch, and I have, this is a brand new font. I'm not going to tell you the stamp set because that will be revealed later. But this is a beautiful font of thank you. So I've cut out the oval, stamped it and cut the smaller oval with the bigger oval, and we're just going to stick those two together. So that can be drying because it does slip on your foil. So I'm just going to pop that on the foil there. So just make sure you get that. So I'll pop that to dry. Okay, now we're going to do inside of the card. So with it being a thank you card, I want to use the sentiments that are so very much. I'm not going to use the U, so again I'm going to use my Stampin' Right marker like I did yesterday. Now I want to show you a trick. Now this is the front of my card that I'm going to be using. Standard size card, so it's 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, and I want to stamp inside, so this is where I want to stamp, but if you can see it's going to be over that side. So what and I am going to do a little bit more stamping on this. Sorry, I'll just remove that, bring back in my stamping mat because I want to stamp that flower also inside to start with. So I'm going to just go back and bring in my ink pad that's hiding underneath, and I'm just going to stamp some of the flowers inside. So again I'm going to stamp off, so I'm just going to stamp off. Now that is the front of my card, so this is inside, so I'm just going to do one in the corner like that, and as I'm making sure that I'm stamping off again because I don't want it to let's see, I didn't really want to fold my card, so I think I'm going to use the back of my card that I want because nobody will see this, and then just put that there like that so it doesn't go over. And then just the middle bit, I'm going to put it the right way, and I have not re-inked it, and I'm just going to stamp in the middle there. And remember, that's very, very faint. You can hardly see that. Is that going to pick it up on the camera? I'm not sure. Just about. You can just about see. I only want a faint image in the middle. Now, because it's a photopolymer stamp, I will clean that with my chamois in a minute. But now I can see where I do want that, and that's not done anything to my piece that I'm going to use in a minute. So I'm going to bring in my stamping apparatus, and this is the trick that I do. So this would be where I want to place my word. Now, because you've got the side of the card here, what I'm going to do is turn that upside down. So I now have my card flat. Okay, so I've turned that upside down. Now, what you've got to remember is you've also got to turn your words upside down. So I want to use just so very much, because on the outside I've got thank you, and on the inside so very much. So I'm going to position that upside down, and I'm looking for the so to go across my flower like that. I'm just looking where the so is and the H. I can still come a little bit further over here. There's my so and my H. That's about right where I want it. So I just make sure that that is straight, and then I'm going to pick that up. There we go. So I've picked that up now, and then all I'm going to do, again, I'm using Stampin' Right markers. Now, getting your Stampin' Right markers is a good way to be able to get lots of different colours and to be able to use them of ink, see if you like the colours, without spending an astronomical amount. So you use the side of your Stampin' Right marker. So we just use the side to go over. Remember, I don't want you, I just want from the so. So these are great for when you just want to do little bits and you don't want to do the whole. Now, with it being Seaside Spray, it's quite difficult for me to see. Making sure that this is now completely down. Going to press it and release it. I'm just going to make sure it's back in the corner solid with my magnet, and I'm just going to go over it again. So going to go back over the so. So I'm going from the so. If you feel you've caught one of your letters on the U, just wipe it all off and start again. That is the best. I just wasn't sure, so I'm just going to wipe that, but I'm sure that I'm all right. So just going back over the so, and make sure that's completely in the corner still, and then press on the top. There we go. So now when I turn it round, this has got so very much in the right direction. It's got my positioning where I want it, and now I can go to doing the front of my card. Right, so just pop that out of the way. So I am going to fold now my card and burnish it with my bone folder. There we go. So fold it. There we go. So that's the inside, and we've got the outside. Now I've got a piece of Seaside Spray that I'm going to mount, and my piece of Seaside Spray is 4 inches by 5 3/4. So I'm going to mount this on the top, giving it an equal increment all the way around. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of here. Oops. There we go. And then just make sure, in fact, I'm going to bring in my paper again, just make sure. So I'm going to pop this on the back, on the front should I say, not the back, making sure I've got equal increments all the way round. When I'm happy it's in the right position, I press it down. So that is there. And then I've got my internal one, not internal one, the next layer, my matting, and I told you at the beginning what this size was, so I'm going to just mat that on top. It's such a pretty flower, this one. I really do love it. Nice big bold print. Now this one is brilliant for making your own DSP. I use this one alongside, and the leaves are from the set as well. So there's my big flower from the set and the leaves. And I use this with the Tasteful Touches. That's it, Tasteful Touches. And look at that beautiful DSP. So it's just stunning. It's just so easy. It lends itself so easily to make DSP, your own DSP with it. So I'm going to bring in now my flowers, and I'm going to mount them together. Now what I've done with my flowers, I've just warmed them between my fingers and just give them a little bit of a curl so that they are not flat. So if you just warm them between your fingers and give them that little bit of a curl. Now I don't want to glue them down to completely flatten them. So what I'm using, I have some large glue dots. These are 10 millimeters wide. I'm just going to position one on the back and then just position this so it goes slightly off center like that. So that gives your flower definition. So all I've done is put the smaller flower on top of the other flower, and now you've got a beautiful flower. Now what I like to do is I like to be able to put my leaves on, which are my feathers, remember, from the Positive Thoughts. I haven't got any leaves, so you could use these, or you could use other things, other leaves that you've got. So I'm going to put on the back some tear and tape. So this is the way I like to do it, and then I can hold it roughly in position and now see where I want my leaves. Or these, in this case, they are my feathers, but they are my leaves. Seeing where I want them. Now I can let go and they're in position. So they're in the perfect position that I want them to be. Okay, and I want some leaves coming out the bottom. So I'm again going to use my double-sided tape to put some on the bottom. So this is a great way to, so I want them that way. I'm going to pop it about there. That's it. Oops. Let's just, I want it in that position there. And then I can just peel off the back, and then I can look at it, took any that slipped. There we go. I can then pick up my other two and see whereabouts I want them. I'm going to have one there and one coming out there. Okay, so that holds them into position now so that you can do whatever you want. Now I am going to put this upon dimensionals. Now what I like to do is, because I'm going to have my leaves going a little bit, I like to go over the top. Now this is added security, of course. Adding your dimensionals on top, you're going to make sure that those leaves that you've put are not going anywhere. So I'm going to put those there, so that will sit there. I'm going to put another couple, so I'll put that there and that one there. So they're truly secure now. I can remove the backs, and we'll see. Okay, yeah, the backs. so I can position this however I want now on my card. So I'm thinking I'm going to go about there. There we go. Right, now I've got some Seaside Spray ribbon, and I don't use enough of the ribbon, so we're going to use some today just to finish our card off. So my card's going to go up there, and I think I'm just going to, I'll see which way I want it to go. So just roughly, do I want something like this? So I'm just seeing how much ribbon, so I'm just doing the position to roughly see how much ribbon I might need, and my thank you is going to go up there. So when I've decided how I want it, so I think that's roughly how I want it, I'm just going to cut my ribbon. So I'm not going to position my ribbon yet, I've just seen how much ribbon roughly I want. And then what I'm going to do again, so that it secures it, I'm going to put some of my tear and tape on the back of my sentiment. So I'm just going to put some on there, and then I'll put a little bit, so I'll put a double layer now of my tear and tape on there. So I'm going to peel this off. There we go. So peel this off, so I've got that there, and then I can roughly loop my ribbon, something like that. So perhaps a little bit more, making it a bit more even. So I've got my ribbon going like that, and then just see if that's how I want it. Do I want it going off to the side? I want it slightly going off to the side. So just position and then just press down, and that now is going to secure my ribbon. Right, I don't like that, it's the wrong angle, so I can just pick it off and just have a go again. So if you don't press down, you're all right to, you're good to go again. So I'm just gonna put it there, and let's see. So just a very slight, I want a little bit more, I think, to stick out there. So you just have to be patient and just see roughly where you want it, and will that work. So I'm thinking that will work something like that. So I'm going to pick up a little bit now, and then I've got that coming out there. So that's it, I'm happy with that now. That will go there. I can cut my ribbon when I've finished. So I am going to, well, I don't want it on dimensionals because it's going to make it too high. So what I'm going to do is stick some more tear and tape on top of my ribbon now. So I'm going to stick that over the top of my ribbon and just put a couple of pieces on the outside as well. So that secures my ribbon, and I can also use that to stick on my card. Flatten my ribbon a bit more. So that will give me a fairly, just checking, that will give me as though it is on dimensions without using dimensionals because of the thickness of the ribbon. So if you don't make your ribbon too bulky, that's the way you can do it. So I'm now going to go back in and tear off my release tape. There we go. together and then see where I want my sentiment to go. So I think I want it about there. I'm just looking at the sides to try and get it a bit even. Make sure that you've got your font straight, so straightening that up. I think I'm happy with that, and then I'm just going to press down, commit to it, and then I'm just going to go in and just with my sharp scissors, I'm just going to cut the ends of my ribbon, move out of the way. So so that's quite effective. And then so thank you and so very much. Now I have got my these are called glitter clear epoxy shapes. These are, so it's got some little ones, it's got some drops, and it's got some round ones. So I'm just going, oh, let me put my pin in my glue. So we're just going to use these now to give a little bit more shine. Just grabbed my tool. So I'm going to put a little bit, actually I'm going to stick that on there, and then the tinier ones, is that tinier? No, I think they're about the same. Are they about the same? Are they? Oh, they might be a bit smaller, so I'm just going to go for these. So I'm just going to put a few of these. That's a bit bigger one, I think, so I'm going to put that one back on. So I'm just using the clear ones. Oh, flirting all over the place. That's that. I'm going to just put a few all together. We're just making the centre of the card like that. That's it. And just one more. Don't want it to flirt this time. There. So that's just kind of making the centre of the card, so that gives me some glittery dots. It gives me some definition where the centre of my flower is. So I hope you like that. As I say, it's the Forever and Always stamp set. It's such a beautiful one, and unfortunately it is retiring. As I say, I used the feather from the Positive Thoughts and the die to cut it out, and of course I've used the dies to cut the flowers out, but you could fussy cut if you wanted to. So I hope you like that. I will be back tomorrow with more crafty goodness. Don't forget, this is my host code for from the 28th of March, which I know has gone until the 25th of April. So if you shop with me in this time, please use this host code. Thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate that you've stopped by. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and press the notification bell so that you will not miss any further videos I upload. Thank you very much, and stay safe, stay well, and bye for now.